Is the Texas weather discussion video for Thursday, the 12th of July. I'm Donovan Neal. We deal with another round of afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Then we start to clear out on Friday. Then we officially clear out and go back to routine summertime weather for this weekend into next week. So here's your upper air look across the nation this morning. Main mid-latitude westerlies. The main storm track remains, of course, to the north of us, as you would expect this time of the year. Interesting to note that there is a little shortwave trough just to the east of us that's basically moving west, so that will enhance the coverage of showers and thunderstorms that we see today. Across the watch warning map, heat advisories to the immediate north of us, near Tulsa, includes places like Little Rock, Tulsa, Salina, Kansas City, Wichita, Des Moines, and some of those adjacent areas. On the convective outlooks, we have the standard slight risk of severe storms in effect for the plains extending into the Great Lakes states. Tomorrow, it's pretty much same deal. Marginal risk for areas to the north of us. Notice how we're in the green, which means, of course, a risk for showers and thunderstorms, but no organized severe weather is expected. And then we dry out on day 3, which is Saturday. This is the average rainfall for the next 7 days, valid through Thursday morning of next week. Heavier totals remain to the west and east of us. But down here, we still could see a third of an inch of rain, maybe even more for for parts of North Texas. And again, that's anything that we see today, and that's anything that we potentially sees tomorrow. But tomorrow should be more isolated in coverage. Out in the tropics, the deep tropics will continue to remain quiet, but we do have that little wave that's located just to the north of the Bahamas, associated with the remnants of Beryl. That the NHC gives it a 50-50 chance of developing within the next 5 days, and even if anything does develop one way or another, it's expected to follow the same path as Chris and basically move out to the northeast. Chris is a post-tropical cyclone out in the northern Atlantic. It is expected to keep moving to the northeast as a post-tropical cyclone. Maximum sustained winds are down to 70 miles an hour. No threat to the United States at all. So let's go on to the model output. This is the 06Z run of the GFS valid today at 1 o'clock. Heights are about where they should be for us, but there's a 594 heat ring out in the Midwest. Down here, we remain in a nice tropical air mass, and we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms again this afternoon and evening. I'd say during the peak coverage, the best chance of any one spot getting wet is in the 40 to 50% range. So not everyone will see rain, and where rain does fall could be potentially heavy. Highs will be in the mid-90s today. On Friday, some moisture still starts to stick around, but it starts to clear out. Could be a mix of sun and clouds Friday. Again, highs should be in the mid-90s. And then we clear out on Saturday as weekend begins. We could still mention a chance of an isolated shower or two, but for the most part, we clear out with highs in the upper 90s. On Sunday, pretty much the same thing. Here's Monday of next week. We pretty much stay dry. Highs mostly in the upper 90s to 100 degrees. Same thing on Tuesday and same thing on Wednesday. Again, next week we enter the routine where the weather doesn't change much. Here's a week from today, Thursday the 19th of July. Interesting to note that the GFS actually has a trough just to the north of us, and that pushes down the surface boundary for areas to the east of us, and that's kind of hard to believe. Usually the surface boundaries don't make it that far south this time of the year, so we'll believe it when we see it. We'll stick with the dry forecast with highs in the lower 100s. And here's the end of the 10-day forecast period. This is Sunday. This is 22nd of July. That trough still right there. We're on the southeastern periphery of a 594 heat ring, and the GFS wants to bring a surface front down to our area. And again, I find that very hard to believe because we're in a heat ridge, and plus surface fronts really don't make it down that far in this time of the year. So like I said, we'll believe it when we see it. So here are the numbers coming off of the European ensemble. We pretty much stay in the mid 90s until tomorrow, and then this weekend we pretty much warm up to the upper 90s to the low 100s to finish out July, and lows should mostly be in the low 80s. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll run it in the blog. The next video here should be posted at around 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you can't catch local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and Godspeed.